Hello everybody, we're in Cootamundra, which is the home of Don Bradman. He was born here in Cootamundra. Most people think he was born in Barrel, but no, he was born right here. As a cricket tragic, of course, I got to come along and see all about that. Just noticing here on our left, these beautiful homes right opposite this park. Beautiful Federation style homes. We've been down and seen the house where Don Bradman was born. Well, it was actually originally the hospital. That's where he was born at. We've been around to Don Bradman Oval and had a look there, had some photos taken. Now we're here at the Captain's Walk and we're going to take a walk around here and see what this is all about. But all the captains of Australia over history here have monuments there for them. Come with me, we'll go and have a look. We're here at the start of the Captain's Walk, and just here to my right we've got David Gregory. Now, he was the first ever Australian captain. This is way back in 1877. Now if you remember, in 1977 we had the centenary test, and that centenary test was famous for a number of reasons. First of all, the centenary test was the game where David Hooks hit Tony Greig for 5 fours in a row. Loads of memories there. Dennis Lilly, Derek Randall scoring 174. Magnificent match. But the most importantly was the first ever test match was won by Australia by 45 runs. And 100 years later in 1977, can you believe it, Australia won that test match by 45 runs. Cheers. Bill Murdoch was our second test captain, and really interesting, he was a lawyer right here in Cootamundra in New South Wales, where we are right now. Bill Woodford, this is his monument, and what a magnificent captain he was. He was the captain before Don Bradman. This is back in the early 1930s. Great cricketer, great batsman, averaged in the 46s. These were back in the days with uncovered pitches as well, so really different. Keep coming through. Over here we've got Victor Richardson. Victor Richardson, well, I wouldn't say most famous for, he was obviously captain of Australia, but he was the grandfather, or is the grandfather, for Greg and Ian Chappell, and of course Trevor Chappell, their brother as well. Victor Richardson, the gates at the Adelaide Oval were named after Victor Richardson. And of course, here we've got the mighty Don Bradman. So, what do you say about Don Bradman? Batting average 99.94, only had to score 4 runs in his last innings to have a test average of 100. But he was bowled for a duck. Incredible. 1948 Invincibles, they were called the Invincibles because no one could touch them. They were just too good. Don Bradman by that stage had set all sorts of world records. And here he was, born right here, Cootamundra. We'll continue on the Captain's Walk, eh? Here in the park at the Captain's Walk, here's the Don Bradman Monument. I'm not sure about the likeness, but I'm not sure what shot he's playing there, but for mine, I think Don's dropped his shoulder a bit there, playing this shot. Needs to get that front arm up a bit more, I think. So we'll have to work on that technique, Don. Here we are, Captain's Monument for Richie Benaud. It was a really sad day when Richie died. I'm not going to try and do a 2-2-2 impression, but one of the absolute geniuses and one of Australia's most magnificent cricketers, great man Richie Benaud. We're in here, we come past Neil Harvey, great left-handed batsman Neil Harvey, but Bobby Simpson. Now some of these lookalikes, I'm pretty sure they've used the same mould for quite a few of these, but anyway, Bobby Simpson. The thing with Bobby Simpson was, when Super Test series happened in the 70s, it was Bobby Simpson they turned to captain Australia when Greg Chappell and Ian Chappell and all those guys went off to World Series cricket. They got Bobby Simpson back out of grade cricket in Sydney at the age of 41 to captain his country once again. And he did that, did it brilliantly, scored 100 in India. Absolute legend, Bobby Simpson. And buckets as a slipsman. He didn't catch him in hands, he caught him in buckets. He had great hands, great slips field. And here he is, the big nose, the nose himself, the pigeon. And probably rather apt that he's got a bit of pigeon work going on his monument. But Bill Lawry, got him, yeah, got him. Yeah, the great Bill Lawry, isn't he awesome? Great to see him here. Move on to more modern times, and Ian Chappell, of course, one of 3 brothers to play for Australia, and for mine, best captain ever to play the game of cricket. He's more illustrious brother who scored a lot more runs, doyen of cricket, stylish batsman, Greg Chappell, amazing career. Once again, I'm sure these moulds come out of the same, these faces come out of the same mould. Graham Yallop, still playing cricket, Graham Yallop. He is in the Victorian over 60s or 70s side, and piling on a lot of runs there as well. This one, Kim Hughes, sadly, he was someone I loved to watch play cricket. He scored 88 one day against a formidable West Indies attack, and it was just incredible innings. Loved watching this guy play cricket. Sadly, he's only going to be remembered for the way that he departed the game, and after Lilly and Marsh and Greg Chappell really gave him a hard time, he broke down in tears as he resigned from the captaincy. One of the grittiest, toughest cricketers ever to play the game. Alan Border took over at a time when Australia was rebuilding itself fiercely, but Alan Border kept getting them through. They'd be wickets down, not many runs, and Alan Border would be safe as houses. Incredible left-handed batsman. Technique not perfect, but he knew how to play the game and make the bowlers come to him and play the game the way he wanted to play it. Incredible cut shot, beautiful cover drive. Great man, Alan Border. Well, again, this is Toby Tyler, and I don't think that's looking tubby enough for Mark Taylor. Wonderful guy. I met him at the Gabba one day, and really liked Toby Tyler. Good bloke. Could play. Didn't have the greatest run. I'm not sure what his batting average was, but it wasn't 50. No, 43.5. Not up there with the greats, but certainly very solid cricketer. And he and Mark Slater had that day in the Ashes in England where him and Slater batted right through the entire day. Steve Ward, this is a shocker. I had a look at that and I had no idea who that was. Absolute shocker. But what a legend. What a legend. That last 100 he scored on the last day in Sydney Test match. Incredible. Gilly! He captained Australia 6 times. Didn't know that. They say about, in his description, very aggressive left-handed batsman. Well, there's no kidding about that. Averaged 47.6 as a keeper. Amazing. Punter. Legend. Geez, he could play, couldn't he? He went a long way from being a young kid, getting a black eye at the bar, to becoming one of Australia's best ever batsmen, if not second best behind Donald Bradman. He's averaged 51.85. Legendary batsman, legendary skipper. The last on the captain's walk doesn't have his monument yet. Michael Clarke, our last skipper, Steve Smith hasn't had his monument up yet, but here he is, Michael Clarke again. I reckon the same mould with most of these guys. Anyway, that's a look. Captain's Walk. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you again soon.